Hey guys, Aman here. Again, recently ChatGPT 5 came out, and we've seen AI impacting our life, especially in the field of software engineering. Back in 2023 or 2, when it came out, uh, I myself imagine developing software back then, and right now it's like a completely different playing field. Uh, it's completely switched, and AI is impacting a lot. So today I'm going to share you my workflow that I use to stay ahead of the game. I'm going to use a new project that I worked on recently. It's a Grammarly extension that I developed for myself because I'm not allowed to use Grammarly at work. So I developed my own AI. It's really good at grammar checks, and I find myself using AI to write a lot of emails, work documents, and I just developed an extension. Again, I have no background experience of developing any Chrome extensions. I'm started with zero knowledge, and this kind of proves that how you can ship faster. So I'm going to share the framework that I used, and you guys can feel free to adapt and use it yourself. So before we jump into the workflow itself, I'm going to give you a quick tour of my setup. So I use QCLI and with VS Code. I usually open the QCLI in a different terminal instead of using native Visual Studio terminal, but you're free to use or modify this setup however you wish to. It doesn't have to be QCLI to follow this workflow. It could be any CLI. So if you use Cloud Code or if you're using Gemini CLI, you are pretty much good to go. Also, if you're using Cursor or Windsurf, you can easily replicate what I'm showing you here with the IDE itself. Again, a lot of these techniques is really framework agnostic, so it doesn't really matter what tools are you using. If you're using any agentic coding flow, you can follow these setups quickly and deliver faster. So step one is planning. Plan your builds. We all have been there. We just want to get our code done, ship the feature out. But unless and until you can put things to words on yourself, it's going to be very hard for you to convey to an AI on what exactly you want to do and do it in one shot. You can do hit and miss, but at most of the time, you will be spending time fixing code. So it's not really very efficient. And the best way to get rid of this or avoid this is plan your builds. Now, in the case of this extension, I created a product spec file where I envisioned, hey, what features do I really want? How do I want this to behave? I gave this a thought beforehand before I jumped into the code itself. And this is where you will envision how we want to build things, and this is how you'll convey to AI. And the best way to document this is creating a README file. It's similar to Claude Code. It's similar to Claude that does it for you, where you do a Claude in it. You're creating a product spec file. Now, at any point in time you lose context or you question yourself, you can easily go back to this document and see, okay, what exactly am I building? And you can always reiterate on this document later down the line if you find some new findings. But the phase one is reiterating on the planning. If you can't put things to words, it's going to be very tough for you to go do things very efficiently. So here's one of the files that I created on the product spec. Again, I'm just calling it product spec.readme. It's one of the files in the folder itself. You don't have to go really fancy, and apparently readme files are pretty good for AI to understand the context. And here you can see I've listed on all features that I worked on before, and also I have added a placeholder for the features that I don't want it to be in future. But again, overall, this is the structure of the product spec file. Again, I try to go in a little bit more detail than just adding what the feature should do. Just try addressing what is the behavior, what sort of system integration that you want to think, and try to document those as well. Now, you don't really have to do it yourself. All of the stuff, you leverage AI to be a domain level expert and gain. So here, one of the example I can show you quickly is I have added a placeholder for feature 2. Now, feature 2 is more of a deep research idea that I was trying to implement in using this tool, where I can research directly from that document itself. And using that tool, so I can go ahead and ask the AI directly to help research me out and implement the feature and write it down. So again, so that you don't have to manually write things. Again, I haven't written this whole spec document manually. I have leveraged AI by telling him to do some research, working with the agent to figure out what this works best for me or not, and put all the thing in the spec document. So once we know and we planned what we really want to build, the next step is implementation. Now, implementation could be a bit tricky. And in this example, I'm going to go feature by feature. I'm going to take one feature at a time and implement them. Now, instead of implementing the whole feature all at once and telling AI, hey, just implement this, I break that feature down into multiple phases. And the way I break the phases is after each phase, I should have one testable unit that I can test and verify if this feature works. And then every phase will build on that iteration. So in this example, I built, and so instead of just building the whole extension by one shot, I have built how can a floating window pop up? And then the next step is how can I save things and so on. So here I'm implementing a feature where clicking on setting should open a new extension tab, but it's not. So here I am just going to use AI to try to fix and see what's wrong with the setting button. And I'm just going to give the prompt to AI to figure itself out. I'm not really doing anything here. And the AI itself will go through it and figure out what exactly is wrong. So it correcting itself and seeing where exactly it went wrong. And it figured out the exact thing that was wrong with it and tried to build the extension itself. And at the end of it, gives me a clear summary on what exactly was wrong. And I can read through this and gain understanding. And in this case, it was an issue with the context. Some Chrome API features are not available in the script that it was trying to run. But again, I'm new to Chrome, so this also helps me understand what exactly I'm building. And if you can see now that the setting works. So phase 3 is checkpointing. It's one of the critical steps. The reason being, a lot of things could go wrong in real life scenarios. And in this case, what if my queue terminal crashes? What if the context window flows out? What if what I'm implementing flows over the context limit? And there are a lot of things that could go wrong. And ensuring that I stay on track, I don't lose that quality context, checkpointing is crucial. And it's really not that tricky. All it means is after every phase that you implemented, I ask the AI to create a checkpoint file. So a checkpoint file could be feature1.checkpoint.readmemd. It will have this current state. It will have the next state that it needs to implement it. And think of it like a state file. All it is, is the phases that an AI will follow from the implementation. And it will just keep checking what it has completed, what it's currently working on, and what will work on next. And it's very crucial to have this kind of state if you're working on something complex and it can take a while to build. And after a certain point, if there are context oversize, if something goes wrong, it could be a number of things. You can always ask AI to reload this file into the context, and by supporting product spec and the checkpoint file, the AI can reload those two files and get up to speed on what exactly it was doing without you have to start it from scratch. And this is one of the best way to ground your AI. So here is an example of a checkpoint file that I was working on. So I created a checkpoint file for each feature that I'm trying to implement. I was working on feature 4 and feature 1. And here's one of the file for feature 1 that we can go through a quick sample. You can see I have a plan ahead of time, and I have broken the implementation into total 6 iterations. And I was implementing them one at a time. With the help of AI, so not just implementing all at once. This gives a clear understanding, or at least breaks the problem into manageable context, so AI can solve them really easily for you. And all you have to do is just test these iterations as part of implementation step. And if you see the state file, it will give you information on which current state that I've been working on, what are the next iterations, and what are the technical details of those iterations. This should give you, again, in case of such mishaps where the QCLI or any other AI context AI may lose context, you can easily reload this file, and with the help of product spec, you should have all the information to start and continue where you left off. So step 4 is refactoring. Now this is one of the most crucial steps I recommend you put into your workflow. It helps you maintain like the code quality of the project, makes it easy for people to understand the code if they're not using AI to read it. And sometimes refactoring could be really crucial. Now, how often you want to do it is up to you. This is where your experience comes in. If you're implementing something really complex where a phase itself has a lot of code changes, you might want to do after that phase itself. Or if it's not really that code heavy and you can do it after every feature implementation, where you can ask the AI to analyze what it has implemented and refactor itself for clear code quality and code understanding. And this is going to be one of the crucial steps, as I said before, because what it'll separate you from a vibe coder to a good vibe coder. That doesn't really make sense, but a good software engineer. You know what code quality in production application means, and that's one of the ways you can improve on. So if you do find this workflow useful, do give this video a like. Again, feel free to tweak this to your personal workspace. And modify this workflow. I am trying to adopt AI myself into how I work, and I really find it really useful in terms of speeding up the amount of things that I could deliver, the amount of personal projects that I could take up, and the new technologies that I want to learn. And I really think that this is going to change a lot of tutorial market, where we see a lot of tutorial coming out on how to actually do things, and a lot of simple things could be done with AI itself. Now, if you find this video useful, I'm going to create a lot of good AI videos, especially related to my workflow or things that I do at work or in my personal projects. So do subscribe, and I hope to see you guys in the next video.